So this year, I'm reading 12 books to change my life this year. I'm a firm believer into investing into our own education because the return on that investment, that could be hugely infinite. I grew up watching Toy Story, and one of my all-time favorite characters in it was Buzz Lightyear. To infinity and beyond, right? It could help us level up in our careers, communicate more professionally to other people, give us that hope, that inspiration to do things that we never thought were possible, help us step outside of our comfort zone, and in general, learn new skills. Now, before we get started, I'd love to hear from you. Join me in our community and drop me a comment down below. What books are you hoping to read this year, and do you have any recommendations? I'd love to know what's on your reading list. It could be anything that's career related, personal, or even self-development. Let's cheer each other on and let's win. Now, for meeting for the first time, my name is Alvin and I work a full-time job as an engineering project manager. I'm currently balancing working more than 50 hours a week in my day job. I'm spending time with my family, prioritizing and taking care of my health and fitness, and of course, trying to study for an upcoming certification in project management called the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. And by the way, did I mention that I also create content and videos on YouTube? It's a lot. And so as I'm sharing this with you, you might be thinking, Alvin, you have a really jam-packed schedule. How exactly are you going to manage all of this? Isn't it going to be really overwhelming for you? And the answer is, yeah, it could be extremely overwhelming. Let me first share with you what my schedule looks like. I usually wake up by 5 a.m. in the morning so that I can prioritize and go to the gym first thing in the morning. I then spend 1 hour commuting to work, and then I'm in the office from roughly 7 a.m. to then about 5 p.m. Then it takes me another hour to commute back home. After I eat dinner, I like to dedicate at least 1 hour to study for my exam, and then another hour at night for creating content and videos on YouTube. So you can see here that there actually isn't a lot of breathing room for me to tackle this huge goal to read 12 books this year. That is, if I stick to reading a physical book. But this year, I'm changing things up and I'm using Audible to read and listen to these books. And since I'm using Audible, I'll be able to listen to these books during my commute time, my breaks at work, when I'm going outside for my walks, working out at the gym, and then just doing errands inside the house. So I can easily fit in at least 5 hours of listening to an audiobook every single week just with this minor change in my habit. As we go through this video, all of the books that I'll be personally reading will be linked in the description bar down below in case you want to check them out for yourself. As a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Audible. This is not an ad, and I am personally paying for my own monthly membership to Audible. Here's some proof to show that I do actually use Audible. This is my own account, and when we go to this page, this is how much I've already listened to since this morning and how much I've already listened to over the past few days. So with that said, if you'd like to join me on this journey and listen to audiobooks so you can level up just like I'm doing this year, you can actually get a huge deal and get one free audiobook just by signing up with my link at audibletrial.com/AlvinThePM. If you decide that you don't like Audible during that trial, you can absolutely cancel before your 30-day trial ends, and at least you'll get that one free audiobook. So the first book on my list is called Superfans by Pat Flynn, which I actually finished reading back in January. If you're into business and learning how to better build your brand so you can have a much more loyal audience, this is by far a very helpful book that's taught me so far that I need to inject more of my personality into my videos. I want to better engage with you, my audience, through the camera so you can be fans of my work, so we can have that one-on-one personal connection. A big reason why I decided to read this book is that I create videos on my YouTube channel, and I want to build an audience here of fans who like and support my content. Now, the second book that I'm reading is called Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. This has been on my wish list for a very long time, and it's been recommended to me by many mentors since it teaches us the principles of influence and how to use them to be a skilled persuader, which I think we can apply in our day-to-day lives regardless of the career path that we're in. The next one on my list is The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. I'm a huge fan of learning more about business and entrepreneurship, and I stumbled upon this when I was watching one of Ali Abdaal's productivity videos where he reviewed this book. And ever since then, it's been on my reading wish list. You've probably heard of the following phrase or quote: you graduate from college, you get a good job, you save a certain percentage from your paycheck, you invest some of that money into your 401k, you rinse and repeat that until you're, say, 65 years old, and then you can hopefully retire. But what if there was a different way that you could crack the code per se and build your wealth? That's what I hope to learn more about from reading this book. The title sounds kind of gimmicky, but I think that it could be life-changing, especially after reading so many other raving reviews about it. As I share the next book on my list, make sure to smash that like button if you're getting any value out of today's video. It inspires me to keep creating even more high quality content just like this. So the fourth book on my list is called Be Useful by Arnold Schwarzenegger. We all know who Arnold is, right? When he was an all-time professional bodybuilder to then becoming a famous actor in so many blockbuster action movies like The Terminator. I'll be back, right? Sorry, that's the worst impression of Arnold ever. My apologies. And then he ended up becoming the governor of California. He did so many career money making moves to be where he's at financially successfully. So I'm hoping to gain some insight from his lessons and how he just navigated all of this to where he is now. And the cool thing about listening to this audiobook in Audible is that it's actually read by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. And that to me is just mind-blowing, that I'll be able to listen to him as if he's talking to me one-on-one and having a conversation with me. And for that, I'm very excited to dig into this book later on this year. The fifth book that's on my reading list is called 10x is Easier Than 2x: How World-Class Entrepreneurs Achieve More by Doing Less. There's a saying for shoot for the stars. If you miss, you'll reach the clouds. And I'm hoping to get some insights and improve my own mindset as a person so that I can just elevate my brand and also in my career as a project manager. The next book I'll be listening to is called Hidden Potential: The Science of Achieving Greater Things by Adam Grant. This book is actually kind of new. It was released back in 2023, and when I heard about it, I knew that I had to read this book. The 23-time Grand Slam tennis champion Serena Williams, she read this book, and she's quoted for saying that this book will completely shatter your assumptions about what it takes to improve and succeed. I wish I could go back in time and gift it to my younger self. And for me, I'm a huge fan of tennis. I grew up playing tennis back in high school. So just that encouragement is enough for me to be like, I need to read this book. So I'm hoping that this book will inspire me to think differently about how to bring out the best version of myself and uncover new skills that I just need to tap into. The next two books that I'm going to listen to with Audible are written by one of the most famous entrepreneurs out there. We have Tools of Titans and Tribe of Mentors, both written by Tim Ferriss. I'm viewing both of these books as a way to gain all of these business lessons and productivity insights from top world-class athletes, celebrities, and experts in their fields so that I can just push myself to that next level. I'm hoping to feel a sense of encouragement, that little push, so I can keep driving towards all the personal and career goals that I want to accomplish this year. The next book is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and this audiobook is actually only available on Audible. I want to learn from the best, and David Goggins is one of the world's top elite athletes out there who transformed his life completely. He completed training as a Navy SEAL, an Army Ranger, and an Air Force Tactical Air Controller. If that isn't badass enough, I don't know what is. So I have to read that this year. The 10th book that I'll be listening to on Audible is called How I Built This by The Unexpected Path to Success from the World's Most Inspiring Entrepreneurs by Guy Raz. I was initially skeptical of getting this book because I was afraid that this would just be a recount of some of his interviews on his podcast called how I built this. But I'm hoping that this will give me a lot more value and inspiration from other entrepreneurs who started their own business. Jim Rohn was once quoted saying that we're the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And I'm hoping that by reading this book, it'll surround me with the advice of highly successful business owners and entrepreneurs who were able to change their life. In November, I hope to read the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, A Guide to Wealth and Happiness. I actually had never heard of this book before until I had also watched another video by Ali Abdaal, and he had mentioned that this book can actually just open up your eyes, that getting rich is not just about luck, and that happiness is not just something we're born with. These are skills that we can actually learn, and I'm hoping to just gain some insights so I can live a more happier, fulfilled, and wealthier lifestyle. And the last book on my list is something that I want to read in December, and that is Your Best Year Ever, a 5-step plan for achieving your most by Michael Hyatt. Closing out the year for 2024, I want to think big picture. I want to plan out what my goals will be that I want to accomplish for next year and what I can do to get there. Now, these are my top 12 books that I'll be reading so I can change my life this year. And all links to everything that I'm sharing will be linked in the description bar down below. Now, if you're just starting your career as a project manager, there are several books that I highly recommend so you can accelerate and start off the right way. Please watch this video next to learn the top books that I recommend for project managers, and I'll see you in the next video.